That lawnmower. That's it. Start that. Jake Paul might be too big for him, or Tank might crack him. You don't know.
I made a post and basically told Roach. He tagged Lamar Roach and he said, "Look, you're not getting that fight with Tank."
Here's a rewritten version in unique wording while keeping the meaning intact. A day in the training camp of Gervonta "Tank" Davis, as he gears up for Jake Paul, is built entirely around discipline and intensity. Every session focuses on precision, power, and speed. From grueling conditioning routines to heated sparring rounds, Davis remains locked in, eliminating distractions and sharpening every tool needed for the fight ahead. His preparation reflects a mindset of proving readiness, fueled by relentless work and determination. Rolando Romero's perspective on the matchup offers a more measured take. He points out that Tank's legacy is already secure, no matter what happens against Jake Paul. As a proven world champion with a decorated career, Davis doesn't need this fight to validate his place in boxing history. Romero does note, however, that Paul's natural size is a real factor. His physical frame provides an edge, but that advantage doesn't erase the accomplishments or the respect Davis has already earned inside the ring. Do you want to make this read more like a sports article or like a hype narration script for a fight promo?
Paul might be too big for him, but like Jake Paul might be too big for him, or Tank might crack him. You don't know. Like I said, or as an exhibition, we don't know if they throw at each other or not, or we don't know. I don't know. I can't give an opinion because I don't know what's going on.
Do you think it impacts, will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were to beat him or even knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him.
You know, some people trying to give, that's fair, some people trying to give Tank a hard time. They're saying he should have took a fight with Lamar Roach or Shakur Stevenson. But when you think about it, do you think this is business and look, he's getting a bag, or is there some validity to people saying that he ducked Roach?
I mean, there's still other options, you know. It's bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way that Stevenson thinks Tank's the best option for him, or all that stuff, right?
Paulie Malignaggi draws attention to the crucial difference between size and experience. Malignaggi maintains that boxing expertise is more important than physical prowess. Even though Jake Paul has become more well-known and more muscular, Gervonta Davis has battled top opposition, headlined enormous events, and competed on the largest stages. Jake Paul is no match for Tank's years of training, ring IQ, and versatility, regardless of how big he is. Malignaggi bases his evaluation on the notion that experience and talent, rather than stature, frequently determine results in boxing.
I think Davis is more to lose because he's the bona fide world champion. I don't care if he's much smaller. I think Jake Paul has sort of plateaued as far as where his boxing is concerned. It's rather low level. Yeah. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he can hit. So there is that risk. Davis, at lightweight, you're in a moment where it's too physical for you. You can clinch. Against the heavyweight, where you clinching? You ain't getting out of that corner just clinching anymore if you run out of space. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But Davis, listen, there's a lot of talking points that I'm sure we'll get into when this gets closer to the fight. Davis can still punch at lightweight. Can he drop a heavyweight? There's a lot to gain there, right? If Davis knocks...
The answer is yes.
If Davis drops Jake on his ass, as much as Davis is the one with more to lose, it's still a highlight moment.
A visual that will stay forever.
Yeah, but if you get dropped, even if you're smaller, you're still a world champion, multiple weight classes. If you get dropped, what's the look? What's the feel? On the inside, as boxers, me and Chris Algieri, the champ, even you, Jimmy, you have fight experience, so we know that the risk is a big guy that big hits you. You're probably going down if you're a small guy if he hits you clean. So we know the risk, but how does it look to the public eye who don't understand that? You know what I mean? The public. So there is a lot to lose, though. There's a bit to gain. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with this had Davis's career arc been one that benefited boxing. Davis was manufactured and put into a position where he's supposed to benefit boxing. And I don't think he has. I think he's hurt boxing. So by giving him this reward, that's my problem. Why are we watching this? Why don't you make him earn his spot that he still hasn't earned mine?
Teofimo Lopez presents the event as more of a show than a sporting event. He sees entertainment and financial gain as the main goals of the battle, not prestige or rankings. He agrees that it is important to remember that Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis have the potential to earn huge quantities of money. Although it might not be as competitive as a world title match, Lopez thinks it is still useful for boxing. Even an exhibition-style bout can expand the sport's audience and attract new fans by attracting general attention.
Really invested on it, and I'm actually very happy for Gervonta and Jake. I really am, man. It's good for the sport in some way, you know.
So a heavyweight versus a lightweight.
Yeah.
You got a fly hit me, yeah. A heavyweight versus a lightweight. How's this gonna work?
Hey, they make it work. It's an exhibition for a reason. So, you know, they know what they're doing. And, you know, shout out to Netflix and shout out to both of them, honestly. Like I said, I think a lot of people in the boxing world are kind of upset. I could care less. I think they're going to go out there and make their money. It falls on the number 8 for a reason. They're going to make a lot of money.
Have you got a prediction for that fight?
My prediction? A show. A show.
Well, clearly it's a show, but when you've got a lot of people underestimating Jake Paul once again, but when you've got a heavyweight boxer who knows how to throw punches and knows the basics against a lightweight, it's quite a difference. I mean, have you sparred heavyweights before?
Yeah.
For competitive sparring in the ring?
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same, not at all. Definitely got to move. I've actually played around a few times, went through between their legs just to duck around. But yeah, because they're taller, you know. But I think for that competition, that fight, it reminds me a lot like The Big Show, and Floyd Mayweather when they fought in WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And will that end the same way?
Possibly. Maybe some brass knuckles in there too.
Can you see Jake Paul knocking out Gervonta Davis?
It's boxing, man. And if it's a show like this, anything goes, anything happens.
Nate Diaz, who is renowned for his direct honesty, completely rejects the matchup. Diaz sees no real competitive value in the fight. He contends that the result does not significantly advance either fighter's career, regardless of the winner, like professional wrestling or stage events. He describes it as a performance created solely for entertainment. His viewpoint breaks through the hoopla by portraying the fight as a sideshow instead of a respectable athletic competition. I
gotta ask you, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Does Davis have a chance?
Gervonta is a great boxer, but he ain't gonna be Jake Paul.
So you got Jake Paul by knockout, or?
No, I don't got anybody, but I don't think
He's just too small.
it just I don't want to beat up somebody that small. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think of the fight?
I don't want to lose to somebody that. There's no point in the fight. It's a great fight, actually.
You think
I'm
it's a
not
good
hating
fight?
on the fight, but I think my thoughts on it is let's watch and see what happens.
Ryan Garcia said his boxing's turning into WWE.
Yeah,
with that type of matchup. You agree? Last thing, White House card, like he said, you want Conor McGregor?
Yeah, but the whole thing's on WWE, so
Right.
it's like, at least that's happening and it's getting something to talk about, something to watch, and I'm looking forward to that fight actually.
Jeff Mayweather has the same suspicion as Nate Diaz. He thinks the matchup is odd and wonders why it was made. Mayweather doesn't see much sense in matching up a seasoned fighter like Tank with YouTube sensation, who is now a boxer, Jake Paul. Even while he recognizes a commercial aspect of the sport, he still finds the event strange and somewhat superfluous. His analysis captures the ambiguity surrounding crossover bouts that many traditional boxing fans experience.
It's kind of weird because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank, and I mean, but with it being a exhibition, it makes sense. It's fine. He got a big name that he's going to be fighting, but I mean, it really makes no sense because he's going to be weighing over 200 and some pounds. Tank's going to probably be weighing maybe at the most 147, 150. So I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
KSI, who has experience in the influencer boxing industry, provides insight into Jake Paul's marketing strategies. He said it was never possible for Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua to fight. KSI asserts that they were intended to deceive the public and create a lot of hype. He believes that Jake is using the fight with Tank as part of his plan to generate buzz rather than going for actual heavyweight opponents. The dramatic and frequently deceptive aspects of contemporary boxing marketing are highlighted by KSI's remarks.
I knew AJ and Jake was never going to happen.
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought it was actually going to happen? Bro, it's so crazy. Like, I feel like so many people just believe everything online.
But that's pretty unbelievable on the other hand.
I feel like I know. Well, okay, how do I say it like this? Itoma versus White. I had a lot of people bet on White winning. And I'm there like, you guys don't watch boxing, do you? You just look at a record and go, Dylan's fought many more people than Itoma. That record says a lot. Itoma's like 18, not 18, Itoma's 20, inexperienced, one. Like, I just knew Itoma was gonna just destroy him. And I think a good fight for Itoma would be him and Wilder. I think that'd be a very good fight.
A more upbeat approach is used by BJ Flores, who has given Jake Paul significant training. He thinks that Jake will grow most effectively with cruiserweights and heavyweights because of his natural stature. But Flores admits that the Tank Davis battle creates opportunities. By competing with a champion, Jake raises his profile even further. This will therefore open up new possibilities with larger opponents in weighted divisions. According to Flores, Jake's Tank fight serves more as a springboard for his boxing career.
That's a funny story. So one of my good friends, Armani, he has been working with Jake Paul for the last 2 years. There was a little time where Shane wasn't there with Jake, and Armani called me up and said, "Hey, BJ, will you come down to Big Bear and spar with Jake?" And I'm like, "You want me to spar with Jake?" I'm thinking to myself, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, he's beating up all his sparring partners. I was like, all right. I mean, fine, I'll go down there and do it. I have been inactive. I haven't done anything for like 8 months. But I was like, okay, I'll go down there. So we spar a couple times. After that, they decided I was too big for him. And, it's better if we just, not do it. And, then they asked me if I would be interested in like working the mitts with him and helping him with the combinations, because I was hitting him with some combinations they hadn't seen before. And I said, we can teach him all those things and have him doing all those things. And so I started working the mitts with him and helping him out on the mitts. And he told his trainers and everybody, they're like, man, I want BJ around for the entire camp because I'm getting better. My job is like Shane does the advice in the corner and I do the mitts.
Here's a rewritten version with unique wording and flow. Veteran journalist Gervonta Davis has immense words when assessing the upcoming bout, branding it a circus act that values spectacle over substance. In his view, while the matchup will no doubt grab mainstream attention, it chips away at boxing's credibility as a legitimate sport. Davies stresses that the stark difference in weight and natural divisions erases the foundation of fair competition, replacing it with an event designed purely to cash in. His criticism touches on a deeper issue: boxing's steady shift toward entertainment-first showcases, where flashy promotion outweighs true athletic merit. Davies warns that if this path continues, the sport risks alienating its core audience, with purists and lifelong fans losing trust in its competitive integrity. Still, even with his harsh critique, he admits one undeniable truth: controversy sells. As much as he disapproves, fights like this stir massive hype, proving once again that outrage remains one of boxing's most effective marketing tools. Do you want me to make this sound more like a neutral news report or a heated opinion column?